It was a remarkable experience. I mean, it was my first job, my first scoring job. It was essentially my first job out of school. I was 24 when I was working on the mini. I think I was 25 when I took over the show. And I'm not. That's not a humble brag. That is this is a historical kind of like time period thing. This happened then for a reason, and part of that reason was nobody wanted to do TV at that time. Nobody knew what Battlestar Galactica was going to be. Only the people that were watching it, and I mean, like, and before it even aired, like I saw the first episode 33, and I was like, this is something else. I don't know what this is. Looking back on it nearly 20 years later, we all know what it was. It was among the series that birthed what we consider to be television today. So with all that said, it was sort of like there just weren't that many people paying attention. I was extremely fortunate to be assisting Richard Gibbs. I mean, that's where this story starts. I was his assistant. It was my first job out of college. He was doing a lot of film and a lot of TV at the time, and so he scored the miniseries, and I wrote additional cues, and I got to watch him work, and I got to like support with a lot of the like action cues, and really kind of like figuring out how to write for tychos and all that stuff. And it was in that handoff. The reason I tee up about the era is that Richard had a lot of movies going, so he went off and did his movies. We, the producers, started with Richard and I, and then sort of like when Richard had some film commitments that came up, it was like, okay, Bear, you can do one episode while we genuinely look for someone real. Like, in no world is this 25-year-old going to score our show. You know what I mean? I think of it like The Princess Bride when he's like, good work, Wesley. I'll probably kill you in the morning. I thought about that at the time. I was like, you know what? I get to write some cues on Battlestar Galactica. Then it's like, you know what? I get to go to the dub stage on one episode of Battlestar Galactica, and I'm going to put my resume out to be an assistant tomorrow. The end of that first episode, which that I scored solo, which was 33, the first episode of season 1. I remember the producers were like looking at me, and then they go, so can you come in tomorrow, maybe spot the next 2 shows? And I was like, ooh, yeah, sure. And it really went like that for years. I mean, into season 3, if they had said, you know what, you're fired, we're getting somebody real, I genuinely was prepared to go like, easy come, easy go. Like, I knew this was coming. I didn't feel any sense of security, not in a bad way, but it was just like every episode was like, oh my God, I get to do another. I get to do season 2. Like every thing I got to do, I scored every episode of that show like it was the last thing I would ever get to do. And I think you can hear that in my work to a degree.